Yes, sir.
Malaki, I just want to see what it's having Javon back there in the back end with you. What's that been like? And has it been any kind of an adjustment for you, or is it boosted overall play?
I mean, having a guy like him back there with me, him being a vet, basically, I mean, it just gives me confidence. We've been clicking. The whole defense has been clicking. He was one of, like, I guess you say, my mentors when I first got here. Awesome guy, great player. So I'm just very honored to be back there with him, and as well as all the other players.
Malaki, going back to your senior year in high school, well, you played in a bunch of big games at UGA, but going back to your senior year, your chips and over against Brigham County, just playing against Gunner Stockton, what did you see in him in that game, and then what have you seen him transition? Here, been here together.
I've been playing since Gunner since I was like 7 or 8 maybe, rec league. He's beat me every year, so that was the first time I got my chance to get him back. I mean, he's a great athlete, great quarterback, very talented, and just to see that transition from high school to college, what he's been doing now, learning from all the other guys, just working on his game is just awesome.
Yeah, you mentioned mentors in your college career. Chris Smith, obviously one of those guys too. Just what did you learn the most from him? Maybe just as far as communicating in the back end, getting guys aligned, all that kind of stuff.
I'd say Chris really helped me out when I got here. Coming in as a freshman, especially being on this defense, I was a little nervous to speak up. I felt like I didn't really have a place. He just kind of helped me find where I was supposed to be at, because being a DB, you're like the quarterback of the defense in the back end. So he really just helped me find my voice and get comfortable and confidence in who I was as a player.
Malaki, when you look at how far you've come over the last year, where do you feel like you've made the most strides in your game? And when it came to getting ready for this season, what areas were you trying to improve on the most?
I'd say recognizing formations, just really diving into actually learning football. I mean, like being here with all the Muschamps and Coach Smart and Coach Shu, you have no choice but to learn football. So I'd say definitely just understanding the game of football better. And I think, what was the other question? I'm sorry.
Just what you focused on this offseason to try to get better for this year.
I'd say probably every aspect I could. Footwork, go back recognizing defenses, offenses, trying to communicate better. Really just everything. You can always improve on anything and everything. So I've been trying to take every aspect of my game and bump it up.
I know he's banged up at the moment, but what have you seen from Janelle Aguero to this point, and why do you think last year you were able to come in and play as a freshman right away in this secondary? It seems like Georgia's had the ability to find those guys that are able to do that quite often.
I mean, he's a great athlete, so as all the freshmen. I think that's why we have so much success is the recruiting. All the freshmen, they're doing so very good right now. They're just like sponges soaking up information, and I think when I got here, that was probably the biggest thing, is that I was willing to take criticism and soak up what I needed to soak up, and I wasn't afraid to mess up. And I think I see that in a lot of the freshmen that we have now. So I think all of them are doing awesome.
Malaki, Kirby told a story at media days about Brock Bowers and you covering him and him calling Bowers out over the loudspeaker. Bowers said it pissed him off. Do you remember that particular practice and if you covered Bowers that well, you're like the first guy we know who did that. Like, how do you cover Brock Bowers, and what was your reaction when you heard Kirby giving Bowers a hard time about your coverage?
Last year during fall camp, it's kind of where I guess I'd say I earned my stripes in covering Brock. It's not easy for anybody, but I'd say I really just tried to take the technique that I was getting coached, and I tried to apply it the best way I could, because football doesn't change. High school, college, rec, football is still football. You're just playing at a faster pace with bigger people, and I wasn't scared to go out there and compete. And I mean, I go against the best people in the country every day, whether it's Brock or Ladd or Rosemy or anybody. I mean, Dom, he came from Missouri. I mean, I go against the best people every day. So I mean, just having that confidence, knowing if I can play with these people, I can play with anybody.
And then just as far as the back and forth with you and Bowers, I mean, could you tell he was getting irritated? Did he look like he got him?
Just a little bit. I mean, he's a competitor. I mean, he loves to compete, and so do I. So when you get two people who just like to compete, you go head to head. There's so much respect between us, and I mean, what he's done is amazing. He's going to continue to do it. So I'm just grateful and very blessed to be there with him.
Kirby talks about hitting the freshman wall and when the season goes longer than your normal high school season. How did you feel that, and how did you try to fight through that last year?
I'd say it was tough because it's a lot longer, and it's a lot more demanding, of a higher speed, more physical. When I hit mine, I don't even remember where I hit it at, but it was more of just trying to go back to my roots, remembering like what got me here, trying to stay grounded, and just keep working, keep grinding every day, trying to get better at something. And I think that really helped me push through. And I mean, the guys here, honestly, like the chemistry and the connection that we have in the locker room, really just helped me keep pushing, and so does the other guys.
Malaki, you mentioned the competing against this group of wide receivers. Kind of what did you see? Obviously everybody knows about Ladd and Dom, what he's brought into the situation. This is a deep receiver room
Right.
this year, maybe more so than last year. Explain what it's been like, how different is it for you? How explosive can this group be this year?
I think we can be explosive as we want to be. We definitely have the talent. We have the leaders to do it, and I think that's huge. Great group of guys. Like I said, it's the best in the country. And going against them is only making me better and the secondary better, the whole defense as a group, the whole offense as a group. To be here, you have to be very competitive. It's not easy. Like I said, you're going against the best people in the country every day. So, I mean, that group of guys, I mean, it's crazy. There's so much talent, so much depth. They're all good at different things. I mean, there's not one person in that room that couldn't do anything to shock anybody. So, I mean, I'm very blessed to be here and compete with these guys.
Yeah, Malaki, you mentioned wanting to learn more football. I'm curious what the process has been about. How are you going about learning more?
I say last year, I kind of just knew my job and what I was doing. Coming as a freshman, just trying to learn, get on the field, and I really try to dive in. I want to know like not just what I'm doing, what the guy beside me is doing, and why he's doing it, because that'll help me play better. Like if I know what he's doing and why he's doing it, I can know and trust it like he's going to be where he's supposed to be at. And if he's not, then I have the ability to speak up and correct him, and he has the same to do with me. I've been meeting with Shu and Muschamp, legends, basically, just trying to really dive in and soak up their knowledge because they have so much. And it's crazy how much you can learn if you just try to soak it in.
Hey Malachi, at cornerback with Julian and Nyland and Dalen, what are some of the traits that they bring individually to the position?
They're all good at different things. Great athletes. Cover very well, very physical. I think they all bring different things to the table, but there's not a weak spot in any of them. So I just think to see those guys go out there and compete and battle, and just knowing that whoever is going to be there, they're going to rotate. But like whoever's going to be there, I'm very confident in the guy who's beside me.
Malaki, I got different players around you in the secondary. Javon moving back. Just how confident are you in the secondary going into the season?
I'm very confident. We're very well connected, not just on a football level, but personal level. It's really like a brotherhood, and we've the guys that are here, we had a chance to do it last year. Chris left. That's about it. And so we clicked very well. I'm very confident. You have vets. You have Tyke Smith. You got Javon Bullard, Kamari Lassner. Those guys, and what they can bring to the table and what you can learn from them on like a day-to-day basis, and just knowing that like they love to compete. And I'm a competitor, so I love that like the guy beside me, I know like he's going to compete with me. So it's just awesome.
Good time for two more questions.
Malaki, I'm kind of flashing back reading this quote from the high school version of you that played quarterback. It said if you go to college and defense doesn't work out. Obviously it's worked out pretty well, I'd say. But it says you could have switched, you said you could switch to offense, you feel pretty. Where would you play on offense if you did that? And do you miss having the ball in your hands as much as you did when you were on offense?
If I could pick a place to play on offense, I'll probably go to wide out. Do I miss having the ball? kinda. I mean, but I got a chance to get on defense every play, every time it's in the air. So, and it's a lot more competitive. From my standpoint, I guess I would say I miss a little bit, but I wouldn't trade defense for the world.
Yeah, you talked about the freshman wall. Have you had moments this fall where things have clicked for you, where you've made plays and you thought to yourself, I wouldn't have been able to do this as a freshman last year? Have you had those moments through fall camp?
Yeah, I had some in spring too. And that goes back to just really trying to dive in and learn every day, find something new to get better at. And like the guys that are around me hold me accountable. Johan, brother, Tyke Smith. I mean, like they really, me and Bull do this thing where we write down 3 things every day that we need to work on, and we watch each other. And if we try to hold each other accountable. So just going back and watching film, seeing something I did, and I was like, I wouldn't have got that last year or a few months ago. So I can really say I'm really trying to trust the process and just dive into it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Malachi.
Thank you.